That's a wrap from the dirt track at Lowe's Motor Speedway. I'm Ted Jones. For James Essex and Army Armstrong, we'll remind you to check out MastersTV.com for information on the O'Reilly Masters Ultimate Auto Expo coming to Knoxville, Tennessee. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
For the third time in this young season, Detroit and New York match up, this time at Madison Square Garden. Deanna Nolan has emerged as one of the best all-around players in the league. And Cheryl Ford still a force in the paint, even with Swin Cash sidelined with a knee injury. Crystal Robinson and the Liberty, meanwhile, have been on the short end of several close losses. Becky Hammond tries to shoot New York past the Shock next. Welcome to New York City as we join you from inside Madison Square Garden. Last year, New York knocked the defending champion Shock out of the playoffs, and today they are meeting for the third time. Detroit has won both games. Both of them were very close. One of them went into overtime. And welcome to New York. Pam Ward joined by Doris Burke. Now, the last time Detroit started 5-1, they won the championship back in 2003, but still they're not playing their best basketball right now.
They're neither full strength nor flawless, but they've got great building blocks, and they're out to a fast start, 5-1. Why? Well, you start with the most dominant rebounder in the WNBA, Cheryl Ford. Ignites their ability to get in transition with her ability to attack the glass. And who better to get it into the hands of than Deanna Nolan? Has taken the next step as a player in this league, explosive in transition, one of the most feared athletes in the WNBA. For the New York Liberty, it's been a slow start because they haven't been able to finish games. Part of the reason Becky Hammond transitioning to that one guard, giving up her best attribute, shooting. She'll come around there.
And her assists are up as she gets more accustomed to playing the point position. Let's take a look now at our McDonald's starting lineups. We already touched on Tweety Nolan and Becky Hammond. Now, Vicki Johnson shooting 50% from the floor for New York, and Cheryl Ford once again close to averaging a double-double for Detroit, who are still missing Swin Cash as she recovers from the ACL injury she suffered late last season. Let's now join the third member of our team, Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca.
Well, guys, Tara Braxton was the big question coming into this year's WNBA draft because she hadn't played competitive basketball in nearly 2 years. She left the University of Georgia team her junior season and didn't play this past season because she was pregnant with her son. Well, it's early in the year, but there's no questions anymore. Lambier raves about her hands, running ability, and basketball instincts, saying that once she comes into her own, she'll be the next Lisa Leslie. Right now, she's averaging 9 points in only 15 minutes a game.
Wow, that is big-time praise from Mr. Lambier.
And one thing you got to love about Bill Lambier now in his fourth season as a Shock head coach, Bill tells it like it is. He's very entertaining, very articulate, and the guy does not mince words, which I like.
He's refreshing. We'll miss him when he leaves for the NBA because that's a certitude.
Yeah, and Pat Coyle now in her first full season as the head coach of the Liberty. She took over as the interim head coach last July when Richie Adubato was let go, as her team is 2-4. 2 of those 4 losses to this Detroit Shock team, and we're underway in New York.
Well, the last time these two teams played, New York had a 7-point lead inside of 2 minutes and self-destructed.
Becky Hammond running the point for New York. Gets it over to Vicki Johnson. The Liberty coming off a loss at Indianapolis on Friday. Another frustrating loss. Kelly Miller able to hit a 3-point play to win it. Vicki Johnson has been great from the floor this year. The officials look at each other and decide to keep it with New York.
Now, Vicki Johnson, as healthy as she's been in 2 years, it's translated to an outstanding start to the season. The team struggling, but Vicki has shot it consistently, done all the things she used to do early on in her career. Get out in transition, score going off the bounce to the left.
Vicki Johnson now 33 years old in her 9th season with the Liberty. Crystal Robinson from the outside nails the 3.
That's a play New York likes to run. They just interchange the 3 guards out top. Timing situation for those players. Becky, Crystal, and VJ have been together a long time.
Robinson, averaging 7.5 points a game, gives New York a 3-0 lead over Detroit. Detroit beat Charlotte on Friday. Bill Laimbeer much happier with that effort than he was the game before against Seattle as Ford misses her first shot.
That loss to Seattle actually prompted a 2-hour meeting with the coaching staff and the team. He called host players and Cheryl Ford missing that chippy. That is where she's got to be more consistent on the offensive end.
Cheryl averaging 10.5 rebounds and almost 10 points a game. And Waters misses the shot inside, and the ball will come over to Detroit.
Waters a legit 6'4" skilled post player, something New York has not had since Tari Phillips was healthy a couple years ago.
Detroit shot, following up that championship year, only went 17 and 17 last year. Tweety Nolan has been magnificent. Here's a kid who had a triple-double in the first game of the season, and really, it's hard to find any flaws with her offensive game.
No, I'll tell you this, she could dominate, and Bill Laimbeer told us triple-double is something she's capable every night, or she could go off and get 30 or 40 if she were so inclined.
6th in the WNBA in scoring at 17.5 points a game. Waters might have gotten away with some steps. Vicki Johnson nailing the jumper.
I'll tell you this, New York has gotten excellent shots throughout the course of the season. It comes down to whether or not they shoot it well.
He's shooting about 41% from the floor. Johnson with Nolan closing quickly, but Johnson is able to beat her to the hole.
A good transition opportunity. A steal results in easy buckets, something Beckwell would like to see more of.
So Detroit out or down early 7-2 to New York. Bill Laimbeer, a lot of discussion about his future, and it is really a matter not if, but when he goes to the NBA, and he's the first guy to admit that.
Well, he told us last night, had his second formal interview with Isaiah Thomas of the New York Knicks, former teammates on world championship teams with the Pistons, and he has flat out told this team, he quoted in the Detroit Free Press, it is not a matter of if I go to the NBA, it is when. They're supportive of my dream to coach at that league.
And he has been, actually the Knicks are the only team to give him a formal interview. Ayanna Walker hits the shot. Walker's been a great story for Detroit, pressed into action because Swin Cash has not come back from the ACL injury.
Yeah, long, lean, can get out in transition, will board it a little bit. Ayanna Walker has been great in practice. They need to see it turn into great performances in games.
Oh, there's a good performance by Walker, but she gets it back to Robinson, almost had the steal. And another stoppage in play, and we're trying to figure it out. There's Swin Cash, who again tearing that ACL, and that really just tore. With that tear, went their hopes for repeating as champions last year. As she is getting back, and Coach Laimbeer says that she's looking better every day, certainly getting stronger every day, but still really no timetable for when we'll see her play.
Yeah, we asked him, in the immediate future, do you see her returning? He said, no, we do not. We don't anticipate she'll be 100% ever this season, maybe 85%.
Becky Hammond's first bucket, leading this team at 12.7 points a game, but someone who's really been pressed to play the point when she's a national too.
Yeah, sacrificed her game in order to help this basketball team.
Boy, Tweety Nolan. Is there anybody faster in this league?
I don't think so, not closing on the ball.
Cheryl Ford gets her second shot to fall, 1 of 2 now from the floor.
Right. If I'm Detroit, I go after New York's inside players, 6'4" and 6'5", but long, lean, and not necessarily ones to want to bang and mix it up physically.
They're Europeans, of course not.
Yes, that's right.
Veronica and Waters, which of course Ruth Riley.
That gives, though. I mean, 6'4" and highly skilled. Remember, this is a former #1 draft choice to the Cleveland Rocker franchise. She can play in water. Excellent in the open floor.
She was the #1 overall pick back in 2000. Her season cut short last year with an injury. Elaine Powell, a little tipsy-do.
Wow, tough-looking shot. I'll tell you, she's got some size on Becky Hammond. Really found herself in jail. Just created something to nothing.
5'9", at least 3 inches taller than Becky Hammond, one of 3 starters for Detroit who went to either LSU or Louisiana Tech. A lot of Louisianas in this game. One of them, Cheryl Ford from Louisiana Tech, but it was LSU's Elaine Powell with this shot to get Detroit a little bit closer.
WNBA now playing on ESPN and ESPN2. All right, here's one. Stranded on the island. Name 3 things that you want with you.
A beautiful woman, an endless supply of Bud Light, And oh yeah, another beautiful woman.
When are you gonna paint the hut?
Not until he builds the raft.
He said he told the raft yesterday.
Girl, he
Mama,
said
told me
he
not to get
told me
straight around here.
Look, I got to work on my fantasies.
Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real.
Now this is what I'm talking about.
It's all here.
Why rinse, soak, or scrub dishes here before you put them in here? You're not the dishwasher. This is. You're right. Let's take the Cascade Complete Challenge. We'll load your dirty dishes straight into the dishwasher without rinsing. Special pre-treaters dissolve the food. Then powerful cleaners wash everything away with 30% more tough food cleaning power than other brands.
I'm no longer the dishwasher.
This is Cascade Complete. Our best clean.
Streaming video highlights, news, scores, schedules, and more. NBA action delivered directly to you on select Nokia video phones. Nokia, connecting people.
Hi, guys.
This is a thank you for all the dads who spent hours rebounding in the driveway and carpooled to every away game. This is for those who didn't get mad the first time their little girl beat them by 2 and who were there for the championship. This is a thank you to all the fathers who took their daughters to their first game and enjoyed it every bit as much as their kids. You and me, Dad. This is our game. WNBA Dads and Daughters Week is June 10th through the 19th. Go to WNBA.com for details.
ESPN2's presentation of the WNBA. Brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Cascade Complete. Our best clean. Nokia, the official mobile phone of the WNBA. Nokia, connecting people. And Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in the WNBA. Is it in you?
Welcome to a beautiful afternoon in New York City. The Liberty taking on the Shock. New York up early, 11-8. And Rick Mahorn, a guy that Bill Laimbeer knows quite well, now in his first season as an assistant coach.
And I think probably the heir apparent, should Bill Laimbeer accept a job in the NBA either this year or next, the guy who would most likely assume the head coaching position of the Shock would be Rick Mahorn.
Vicki Johnson misses. In fact, Laimbeer told us before the game he thought he'd be the perfect candidate for that job. He's a great practice coach, and the players really have taken to him. As Ford loses it, little Becky Hammond comes away with the ball. And Waters thought better of challenging Ford straight up. Baranova for 3. And the rebound comes down to Nolan. She does not have numbers and decides to jack up a 3 herself that's well short and off the rim.
Baranova, a player New York needs to get started. And she has just not shot it well at all. You wonder if the playing year-round, year after year, is starting to take its toll. As
Waters misses another one, that was one of the concerns of Pat Coyle when we talked to her today. And you think about it, these kids really aren't playing year-round. And Baranova, now in her 7th season, not a kid anymore, and it really has to take a toll on her.
Now you think about this, she's played for the Russian Olympic team, so she did not get a break last year when some players were afforded a 2 or 3 week span.
Nolan with her foot on the line hits the 2.
Pretty looking jumper. I'll tell you this, we talked to Pat Coyle about Deanna Nolan, who has flat out hurt New York year after year with big shots. She said Detroit's not playing great. A lot of times they're relying on Nolan to bail them out in late games. She's been able to do that.
When they played 9 days ago, Tweedy had 34 points, which is a franchise record. And obviously a personal record as well. Just torched them. Baranova, nice inside movement away from Riley, but she can't get it to fall. Ford coming up with another rebound. Inside, Walker spins and hits.
And Nolan getting busy early. 4 points, 3 rebounds, and assist on that little look inside. Nice job by Walker to catch.
And this is the first lead now for Detroit at 12-11. Shot clock to 10. Johnson tries to bail him out, and she does with a three.
Vicki Johnson, that is not the best part of her game, but it's a nice read. They go underneath the screen. She just steps back, creates a lot of space.
Johnson with half of New York's 14 points as they take the lead back. Detroit second in the league in scoring, averaging over 71 points a game, whereas New York has been struggling offensively. Elaine Powell over to Ford. Off to a jump shot that doesn't fall. Johnson dribbling into a whole bunch of trouble, but they get it out. Veronica for three. And here comes Ford up against Hammond, and Hammond for the second time gets Nagy and just swats the ball away. Jumper off the mark by Johnson.
Yeah, see the confidence she has, though. I mean, that's a shot maybe a season ago with the hurt elbow Vicki Johnson doesn't take. She's just so confident right now.
Johnson, one of those players who did play overseas this year, but came home in January, came home before the season was over, and Coach Ford thinks that's one reason why she's so fresh.
I'll tell you what helps your jump shot, rested legs. So you get up in January, you don't have to get up and go to work and play games, and look out.
Vicki Johnson has 9 points, and New York has shot out to a 16-12 lead over Detroit. VJ more than pulling her weight.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football. Unless it's football. Now, a win's a win. A loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it. Because it's 90 feet to first. No matter where home is.
Is that a Dell XPS?
Yeah.
Can I touch it?
The only thing better than the way a Dell XPS looks is the way it performs. The Dell XPS, intense power and performance fueled by the Intel Pentium M processor, is yours for only $2337. Plus, get up to 20% off other select Dell systems. Dell XPS notebooks use Intel Pentium M processors.
Fantastic Four in theaters July 8th. NBA Finals Sunday night, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ABC.
Gee, sir, thanks for the graduation party. Sure. Make yourself at home.
Hey, we have the local game in high jump.
Yeah. Thank you. Man, your internet is way fast. Hey, get away from that. Dude, you got video on demand. Hey. Mind your own business.
Hey, what's going on here? Do you have digital cable?
Get our best offer on Charter Digital. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked.
Hey, what's this?
Now you can pop those dents with Popsident from Simonize. The fast, easy way to make those dents disappear. Just press the special adhesive disc onto the dent. Lower the pulling rod onto the disc. Turn the handle and Popsident. Call in the next 15 minutes and we'll send you Popsident Scratch Remover. We'll also send you a glue gun and glue sticks. A total $40 value, yours free. Call right now and get the amazing Simonize Popsident system with everything you need to fix dozens of dents. Just $19.95.
New York with a 16-12 lead over Detroit. Vicki Johnson has scored the last 5 points for the Liberty.
She played a good stretch of last season, not being able to feel her arm below her elbow. Hyperextended that left elbow. Well, guess what? She's all healed up and all left. A sweet stroke when she gets a little bit of space. Deep knee bend, fresh legs, clean jump shot. Vicki Johnson, always one of the most consistent, best defenders for New York. Flat out, lighten it up right now.
See the 9 points, and the rest of the team have only chipped in 7. Vicki now 25 points away from 3,000 for her career. And our first look at Kara Braxton, the wonderful rookie out of Georgia, who did not play her senior season at Georgia. She has been fantastic, and right on cue, she shows it.
Yeah, just very skilled basketball player. mid-post, high post, can face up, and really physically ready to play the game at this level right now.
And she had a baby in January. Unbelievable. And Pat Doyle, on that last time out for Liberty, told her team, Braxton's coming in, watch out. And what happens? She gets the ball and then shoots and scores. That must drive the coach nuts. Now Braxton defends on Waters. Johnson off the mark, and Kara Braxton gets her first rebound up to Nolan, who was cut off nicely by Robinson. Niele Ivey also has checked in for Detroit, signing with Detroit before this season after a couple years in Indiana. Braxton, a big height advantage, and she just steps around Christian.
Shanika Christian is long and lean, more of a 3-4. Barbara Ferris is flat out a 4. Can go 5 if you need to, but the physical difference wants to attack Christian's body.
Braxton coming in and making some noise right away, and now Nolan just a little bit too far. We got more WNBA action coming your way later on today at 4 Eastern Time on NBA TV in Seattle and Charlotte. Wednesday at 8 on NBA TV, this Detroit team goes to Indiana to take on Tamika Catchings and company. And then Saturday on ABC at 4 Eastern, Phoenix right here to take on New York.
Phoenix struggling to get out of the gates, 2-6, but in exciting style they play things. Fun to watch.
Christian with the miss. It's always fun to watch Diana Taurasi play. Check them out next week. Ferris with the step through and then misses. You're knotted up at 16. New York has already lost 2 games this year to Detroit. The 2 games they very easily could have won as Braxton gets in and knocks it away.
Detroit has excellent team speed and length, Pam, so passes that look open momentarily, those passing lanes for Bill Lambier close in a hurry.
The first time these 2 teams have been tied today. Of course, any Bill Lambier coach team you would expect to be where they are, #1 in the league in rebounding, and a tough defensive club as well.
Yeah, add Rick Mahorn to that mix. The bad boys, the teammates, they've gotten into their share of scuffles as opponents. We'll show you that a bit later.
Well, how about the block by Ayanna Walker, and then she gets fouled on the other end. Walker in her 4th season. Barely got off the bench last year. Let's take a look now just to support that, and you see they are in the top 2 in several defensive categories.
Yeah, I mean, they are physically intimidating. The imposing front line, long and lean on the perimeter. This is a very good basketball team. You think about Swin College, not even in the mix at this point, and they're still out to this kind of start. Should be a great race down the stretch between Connecticut and Detroit.
Connecticut's playing so well right now. Detroit 5-1. Again, that ties their best start ever. They did it back in 2003, and they went on to win the WNBA title. And when they get Swin Cash back, that is going to be amazing. And Coach Lambier said that he plans to start her right away and limit her minutes. But Swin obviously a huge loss for this team, but they're still 5-1.
Yeah, I mean, they're still able to put points on the board. Think about this, Pam, as Hammond's still struggling to get that stroke going. Last season, only 2 teams in the WNBA averaged 70 points per game. This year, you've got 6 over that mark.
And Detroit is one of them. 2nd in the league in scoring, 71.5 points a game. As another foul, the 13th foul against New York, and the first against Shameika Christian. As Chandy Jones comes in, Detroit's first-round draft pick last year, 2004, out of Houston. And there's the standings. Top-heavy with Detroit and Connecticut, the Toyota standings. We'll see who's moving forward in the race for the top spot. But that Connecticut team, so impressive. We saw them last week on Tuesday, and Margot Diedick is playing a lot of good basketball right now, so they're pretty scary.
I think Mike Thibault had a picture in his head of what it could be, and it's starting to come to fruition.
And she's still learning the offense and trying to get adjusted. As Ivy misses, the ball comes back over to Liberty.
You've got a New York team that's still, you've got certain players who are struggling to get going offensively. Hammond, because she's figuring out where her shots are coming, and it's translated today to 2 for their last 12. And then Baranova. She seems like her confidence is bricked a little bit. She's got to get it back. Look at Hammond, really barely grazing iron.
But then she makes the hustle play to steal it and get New York another possession. Katrina White driving the lane. So good play by Hammond not to give up after she missed that shot.
Yeah, you got to do all the other things. 9 assists, 0 turnovers in their Friday loss to Indiana, Becky Hammond. You can help your team win without scoring.
And it's good that she didn't sit there and pout about it. Hammond, playing with the coach, said was her best 4 games. And she had those assists and no turnovers. 9 assists and no turnovers. And here come the Liberty up by 1.
Detroit staying man-to-man the entire way. New York was mixed in the zone at points. Shot clock getting down there.
It's at 6. And then knocked away by Neil Ivey. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. New York has to figure something out. When we come back, they lead by 1.
The first quarter is now over. The second quarter is coming up next.
Miss McGee, will you bring that to the front, please?
Tampax Compact is so discreet, only you'll know it's a tampon.
Well, I hope you brought enough for everyone.
Enough for the girls. Small size, big protection. The one, the only, Tampax Compact.
Why are you all so animated? Hey, must be a fruit buzz. Fruit what? You know, the feeling you get with new fruit and walnut salad. From McDonald's. Girl, we hooked you up with one. Yeah, crisp apples, juicy Susan's grape, plus cool, creamy yogurt. And crunchy candied walnuts on the side. Tastes so fresh, so sweet, so real. You mean like me? Real is a good word for you. I have a word for you. You all are killing my fruit buzz.
Man, what a blowout. Well, at least we beat the traffic.
And the heat of Titan. What a comeback.
He who leaves before the bell tolls may not be there when the story unfolds.
Hey, Coach, what does that mean?
Never give up on your team.
Showing some loyalty. That's moving forward. Toyota, official partner of the NBA.
Recent studies suggest that the calcium and nutrients in milk may help you lose more weight and burn more fat when dieting. So drink 24 ounces of low-fat or fat-free milk every 24 hours as part of your reduced calorie diet. Just one more reason milk is good for you. Milk your diet. Lose weight. For more about the science, visit 2424milk.com.
I need you back in 4 instead of 12. No, I can't. You know what your problem is? I can think of a couple women be happy to tell you. Rachel, want to see something cool?
It's the lightning back.
Something else.
War of the World, rated PG-13, June 29th.
New York with a 1-point lead over Detroit. Let's head over to Rebecca Lobo, who's standing next to the coach's kid. See?
Okay, I'm here with Carrie Lambier in honor of Dads and Daughters Week. Now, your father got his start coaching women when he coached your 11 and under AAU team. What was it like playing for him?
I love playing for him. He's a great coach. He made us work really hard. He talked to us like we were adults. He expected us to play hard every time we played for him, and if he didn't, he sat on the bench.
Now, you're going to Syracuse on a scholarship this coming fall. In what ways is your game similar to your father's?
I like to bang in the post. I like to try to shoot. I play hard. I like to play with my teammates. I like to be a role player. I just have fun playing like he did.
Your dad was one of the bad boys in Detroit. Do you ever remember him coming home with those black eyes or anything like that when he was playing for the Pistons?
I don't remember him. I remember everybody talking about it. And when I got older, people still talked about it and how he was a dirty player, how he was a rough player. But, he was fun to watch. Everybody loved him.
Well, congratulations and good luck to you next year at Syracuse.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow, Carrie talking about her dad, and he admitted that once he started coaching the AAU, he started getting more into girls basketball, and translated into his job in the WNBA, but like father, like daughter.
Nothing like Daddy's little girl to change his mind and make him a softie. Baranova getting into that mid-post area. It's interesting. We talked to Bill before the game, and he talked about the fact that he had a second interview with Isaiah Thomas when they got to town last night. One of the things about me was I knew that Isaiah was the better player and the leader, and I simply followed and did my job. His daughter seems to have a similar approach.
Know your limitations, know what you can do, and Bill Laimbeer obviously translated that into a fantastic NBA career. Had the reputation as a bad boy, but he was a very good player.
Yes, you know what? Carrie makes a great point. She said he spoke to us as adults and players, and I think it's what makes him so appealing to this Detroit team. He infused this team with confidence, with a swagger, with an attitude. All the things he played with, you get the sense that this Detroit Shock team has the same.
He has some great talent on this team as Vicki Johnson gets fouled as she heads up. And Detroit struggling on the offensive end. And Vicki's going to go to the line.
Now Detroit, in their timeout, Bill Laimbeer discussed turnovers, not turning it over. Well, Becky Hammond, nice anticipation, steps in. Head goes up immediately, and Vicki Johnson beating people up the floor, getting an opportunity at the foul line.
Foul against Chandy Jones as Vicki goes to the free throw line for the first time, an 83% free throw shooter on the season.
New York's almost absurd as a team, 84%. They have been so good.
They are first in the WNBA. Vicki had been 15 of 18 before she missed that one. Becky Hammond's 23 of 25. Ann Waters 22 of 28.
That man extraordinaire, Steve LeBeau, all over it.
Right on cue. Detroit, conversely, is the worst free throw shooting team in the league. And that's one thing, obviously, as the season gets longer and you get into the playoffs, you can't shoot free throws, you could be in trouble.
Right. And those are the two concerns that Bill Laimbeer has, is turnovers and free throws. He said our intensity. We come with it some nights. You've got to come with it. This league has gotten too competitive to be complacent on any given night.
They have 7 turnovers that New York has converted into 9 points, and they have the 4-point lead. Anna Nolan's been quiet for a while and gets stripped again. Cheryl Ford, though, is able to pick up the loose ball. 4 points for Ford.
Just a very good frame inside. It looks like Cheryl Ford. I thought early on, the first game I saw her against New York, she looked more confident offensively. I think the skills are in there on the offensive end. She's just got to believe in it.
Becky Hammond to Baranova, and she leaves that one short again. They do get good looks.
Uncontested jump shots. You get Baranova as many uncontested looks as she's gotten. It's hard for her to keep missing. It's starting to get into her mind a bit.
Baranova 1 of 5 from the floor today.
It almost becomes a mental thing with shooters, Sam. You front rim too many, and your confidence starts to wane.
Becky Hammond again being a pest down low, but Detroit holds on to it with only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And Hammond, one of the all-time great stories in this league, a kid out of Colorado State in 1999, Kodak All-American, doesn't get drafted and becomes an all-star.
Yeah, flat out, an unselfish player, fell into the lap of New York, and has been a great model of perseverance. You know, it took some time for her physically to get ready to play in this league, but so smart and so skilled.
Signed to New York in 1999, and has been a great find for this organization, one of the poster children really for this organization, and the pride of South Dakota. Coming out of South Dakota, going to Colorado State, and has been a great pro. And she's little, and for us little people, we love that.
5'6". I think she's had to change position. I think New York would love to have her coming off screen. She's just forced to play the one out of necessity.
Cheryl Ford working one-on-one against Waters. How's that for a post?
Yeah, I think the skills are in there offensively. I mean, that's a tough shot to check. That little baby hook coming across the lane. She's so long and athletic. It's in there, Cheryl Ford.
Bill Laimbeer, that was one of the things he was so frustrated about with that loss to Seattle on Wednesday. The post players, you guys are doing the same moves, we're teaching you new ones in practice, and we're not using them. And he thinks the message has gotten through as Ford beats Waters to another rebound.
Another uncontested shot for Baranova, who continues to struggle.
Powell trying to split the defense, and it doesn't work out. 4 on 3 for New York. Hammond looked a little frustrated as she passed that ball away. We are tied up at 21 inside of 4 minutes at the Garden.
Nice little move. Fields the defense, sells him one way, rolls opposite. Smart.
And Waters, in her 5th season, the Belgian, as Hammond was able to get a weak side rebound.
Boy, she's on the weak side a couple of times in perfect position.
And inside, she lost the ball and still was able to get the shot off, but is frustrated that she didn't get the foul call.
How about the hesitation move?
And Powell the other way for Detroit.
Powell looks up the ref and says, hey, how about an and one there?
Letting them play. Elaine Powell averaging 8 points a game in her 7th year out of LSU. Coming off a 12-point effort against Charlotte. Hammond draws more contact. I don't think she's going to slip out. There was a lot of contact there. Johnson inside. Now the ball. Vicky has an even dozen and will head to the line.
On the opposite end, Cheryl Ford wants to be the MVP in this league. This is the kind of move that can get it done. Detroit within the deuce.
From the Oscar-winning producers of Chicago comes the biggest television event of the summer. Empire premieres Tuesday, June 28th, only on ABC.
Being an actress is torture on my hair and scalp. Sometimes it's waves on the beach, then it's sticks straight on the set. Torture.
Dryness, itchiness, irritation, and 100% of flakes are a thing of the past with Head & Shoulders. It's missing nothing. Its penetrating formula offers your hair and scalp complete care.
My hair always gives a great performance.
Today's Head & Shoulders. Surprise yourself.
Exercise, eating right, and drinking Minute Maid Heartwise orange juice with added cholesterol reducers. Proven to help reduce cholesterol. Only Minute Maid Heartwise. Your heart will thank you.
It happens this time every year when the thoughts of the young turn to love.
She lays it up and in.
It's the kind of love that gets your heart pounding, your palms sweaty, and is filled with moments you'll never forget.
Three ball, yes!
Many will fall in love for the first time, while others will fall in love all over again.
Oh, my!
This is our time of year, the WNBA. This is our game.
Hey, Tim. So, how was Father's Day? Tim get you anything? Yeah, actually, she got me this camera phone. It was 2 for 1, so she got one, too. What'd you get? Don't be a jerk. What are you looking at?
This year, it's good to be dad. Buy one Samsung A670 camera phone from Verizon Wireless for $49.99 and get a second one free. Then start calling on the nation's most reliable wireless network.
Johnson said you wanted to see me?
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Want to beat athlete's foot?
Let's try a little one-on-one.
Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks? With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
Coming up on the Herbal Essences halftime report, Mike Tyson calls it quits, and the bad boys are back in Detroit. Nancy, your first half impressions, it's a very close game at the Garden.
Oh, close game, but I really think Vicki Johnson doing a great job playing in front of the New York fans, but Detroit has to take care of the ball. 7 turnovers in the first half thus far.
Definitely something to look out for. Just a 2-point game. Let's kick it back out to Pam Ward, Dorisburg. Ladies?
All right, Cindy and Nancy, we will be seeing you very shortly. Meanwhile, we have Bill Lambert wired up this afternoon.
We had it all set up. We had the game under control. Some dumb mental plays, okay? Watch who you give the ball with early in the game, in the play, okay? Come on.
Bill, being honest with his players, he was very frustrated in the huddle.
Right before then, he had said, Coach, you've got to show. He wants the guard, or the big people, to give some assistance on the dribble penetration of Becky Hammond and Vicki Johnson, and then get back and guard. And Nancy's right on cue. The turnovers, and it was something we talked about. Missed free throws and turnovers hurt this team.
Nice move by Ford, using that pump fake to draw the foul, and she'll head to the line to try to complete a 3-point play.
I think the physical tools are there. I mean, her strength is unbelievable. The double post-up, you got them sealed on one side, sealed on the other. The up fake gets them to bite. you. Look at this frame. I mean, she should dominate.
Certainly has the body as she completes the three-point play. Cheryl now with 9 points. Already the WNBA career leader in rebounds per game, averaging 10.1 in her third season. 10.5 this season alone. But Bill Lambier said he thought she came this year with a better attitude than last year.
He said she could average 18 and 10. That might be a bit of a stretch until she gets a little bit more polished offensively.
Coming out of Louisiana Tech, where she did not have to show a lot of that offensive polish. As she misses inside, Christian gets the rebound, and Hammond comes away.
Think about this, New York is all locked up, and Baranova and Hammond have yet to really get started offensively.
Vicki Johnson has 13 of New York's 26 points. Becky Hammond only has 2, as does Baranova.
An offensive foul, I believe, on New York, so another turnover. That one on Crystal Robinson.
2 on Crystal Robinson as we approach the 2-minute mark, tied up at 26 apiece. Detroit at 5-1. Won their first 4 games of the season, fought again. A little step-through move that can't fire off. They were the last team to lose a game. They had gone 4-0, off to the best start of any team in the league this year. And then they lost to Seattle at home on Wednesday, and that's when Bill Lambier kind of laid down the law.
I think you need times when you air out your grievances, and they were able to do that, came back with a better attitude. What can Hammond do under 5 here?
Off of court, 1 second left on the shot clock as New York holds on to it. Here's the shooting, and as it's been, it seems all season, Vicki Johnson, the only one shooting well.
Tell you what, if Vicki Johnson doesn't play as well as she has, this team is struggling to be in games. Forget about winning games.
Hammond and Baranova 2 for 12 combined from the floor, and Becky leading this team in scoring at 12.7, and Baranova averaging 6. Timeout now with 1 second left on the shot clock.
A rainy day is my chance to be home. Be a fan. Be a kid. Be lazy. Problem is, there are no rainy days. My life is about never settling. That's why my card is American Express.
Madison drives the lane, kicks out to Cardinal. Cardinal for 3, and it's good! Red Wings have taken the lead. Game over! How do you like me now?
Remember, he who crows the loudest may eat the most crows.
What does that mean? Whoa! Pass to Vinny. Vinny is a yes! Vinny is a free cake win! And it's
That's what it means.
thanks, Coach.
Learning about karma. That's moving forward. Toyota, official partner of the NBA.
Folks, the 2005 WNBA All-Star Game is coming to the Mohegan Sun Arena on July 9th, and it's your turn to vote for your favorite players. Log on to WNBA.com, cast your ballot, and you could even win a chance to attend this year's All-Star Game, the WNBA All-Star Game. What a pass! Your vote brings together the greatest players on the same court at the same time. Catch the WNBA All-Star Game, Saturday, July 9th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
This man thinks the orange juice he's drinking will help lower his cholesterol. This man knows Minute Maid Heartwise is clinically proven to do just that. Because only Minute Maid Heartwise contains added cholesterol reducers. Minute Maid Heartwise, for your one and only heart.
Want to beat athlete's foot? Let's try a little one-on-one. Lamisil AT versus Lotrimin AF. Use this, you have to use it for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. With Lamisil AT, 1 week and you're done. That's 4 times faster. Lamisil AT, advanced treatment.
Tied up here in New York, Bill Lambier and Rick Mahorn have some history with TNT analyst Charles Barkley, and Charles had some fun with Dan Patrick a little bit earlier on.
You've been losing weight. I thought you looked like Nick Van Exel when I first saw you.
You know, actually, I've been losing weight, but did you see Mahorn and Lambier the other night? Oh my God!
Well, you're never going to
hanging out with them more often.
You're never going to say something complimentary about the Pistons. I know that.
Hey, I love Mahorn. I respect the Bill Lambier, but they make me look skinny. I don't think we make Charles Barkley look skinny. Rick's pretty big. I'm a little bit slimmer, but Charles finally got around to losing a little bit of weight, but he's still a huge beast.
Well, Charles had the nickname the round mound of rebound from his Auburn days. Mahorn and Lambier were a little trimmer in their playing, but just leave it at that.
Yes, weren't we all? Including Charles Barkley. But just having a little bit of fun is Crystal Robinson. They actually got 20 seconds to put back on the shot clock because of a kickball reset, and they execute that play very well out of the timeout.
Yeah, really good set. Set Crystal off a little stagger screen.
And now, La Liberty on the move. Robinson, did she make it 2 in a row? Ruth Riley and Shamika Christian got a little bit tangled up underneath. And the foul is going against Ruth. Much to her bafflement. She and Christian kind of got tangled up. Fresh 30 on the shot clock now for New York.
Shamika Christian, first-round draft choice for New York last year. Last 4 games, double-digit scoring for Christian. She's starting to come around.
SEC Player of the Year, remember, as a senior at Arkansas, and was not a first-team All-American, which I still haven't quite gotten over.
Yeah, usually a first-team All-SEC women's college basketball, that translates automatically.
Player of the Year she was. Riley picks up another foul very quickly. So 2 against Ruth Riley in about 3 seconds.
It's not been a productive half at all for Ruth Riley. In fact, in Oprah, 0 points, 0 rebounds.
Coming up on the Herbal Essences halftime report, will Mike Tyson really retire? And yes, the bad boys have been reunited. That's all coming up. Cindy Brunson and Nancy Lieberman hanging out in the Bristol studios today. Ruth Riley has not scored, and Tweety Nolan has been very quiet for most of his first half.
Yeah, I think there are times where she allows the game to get away from her. If she wanted to exert her will and dominate for an entire 40 minutes, she's more than capable physically. How about the elevation on Deanna Nolan's jump shot? As she just moves differently than other people, you know, there's an ease with which she plays this game.
Just flows. A terrific athlete. Bill Lambier says he'd like for her to be more aggressive, especially early in the games. And the second half has been better than her first half. Could you imagine if she put together a solid 36 or 38 minutes worth of basketball?
I think it's about attitude for Deanna Nolan. I think it's about wanting to be great on a night-in, night-out basis. The physical tools and gifts are there.
So much of it, as you said, is about desire and about heart. I'm not saying she's a bad kid by any means, but doesn't seem to have that killer, I'm going to go after you instinct all the time.
They isolate her here. Could she get some points?
She gets the foul call as Christian hacks her on the wrist with 3.1 seconds to go. Tweety Nolan has just gotten better and better and better.
Well, the numbers, the double-digit scoring coincides with the arrival of Mr. Lambier. Remember, she's from Flint, Michigan. He called her out and said, listen, that's the place where they're supposed to produce players, and not only that, tough-minded players. Let's see some of it.
Deanna Nolan, 6th in the WNBA in scoring right now. As Andrea Stinson comes in for Detroit. As well as Stacey Thomas just got a quick shot of her.
You love the unselfish nature of Deanna's game there. I mean, she is not one who wants 20 shots per night.
Now New York trying to get a shot off. Hammond's the one you want to take it, and it would not have counted had it gone. So Detroit coming back to take the 30-29 lead at the half. Deanna Nolan has 8 points. Cheryl Ford has 9, as Rebecca Lobo standing by with Bill Lambier.
Coach, another close one with New York. What do you need to see in the second half from your team?
Well, same intensity. I thought we played smart for the most part. Too many turnovers, but on the road, you just want to hang around in the first half, give yourself a chance to win the ball game.
Vicki Johnson playing real well, shooting very well for New York. Will you make any defensive adjustments in the second half?
Yeah, well, we did early in the set. About halfway through the first half, we started hedging and showing on her and coming on the picks. Normally we go underneath her, but when she's hot, you got to get out on her.
All right, Coach. Thanks. Good luck in the second half.
Shooting only 35% from the floor, but Vicki Johnson is 5 of 9. Detroit up by 1 at the half. Let's go to Cindy Brunson and Nancy Lieberman, the Herbal Essences halftime report.
Pam, thanks so much. Welcome into the Herbal Essences WNBA Halftime Report alongside Hall of Famer Nancy Lieberman. I'm Cindy Brunson. Nancy, it's a one-point game at the half. Of course, Detroit has beaten New York 2 times already this season, but this third one might be tough to come by.
Well, it might be tough to come by, but I really think that Detroit really relies on Ruth Riley to set the tone on the inside. She's been bageled so far in the first half. Great defense, I thought, by New York. And also she's gotten into some foul trouble. But I think it's also important that Vicki Johnson, Becky Hammond, and Waters really get into the flow. Johnson has done that. The other 2 haven't.
All right. We'll get more from Nancy Lieberman in just a bit. But as we come back, if you went to bed early last night, you may have missed the last fight of Iron Mike's colorful heavyweight career. How the man he was supposed to gut like a fish made him throw in the towel. Next.
ESPN 2's presentation of the WNBA. Brought to you by Joy with natural citrus extracts. Put a little joy in your life. Toyota. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. American Express. My life, my card. And Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
This place is disgusting. I feel dirty just being here.
All right. I've got one last thing I want you to see. I think you're going to like that.
Is that a...
Yes. It's a beer tree.
Honey, we're home. Bud Light, fresh, smooth, real.
Nothing quite like a beer straight from the tree.
It's all here.
Is that a Dell XPS?
Yeah.
Can I touch it?
The only thing better than the way a Dell XPS looks is the way it performs. The Dell XPS, intense power and performance fueled by the Intel Pentium M processor, is yours for only $23.37. Plus, get up to 20% off other select Dell systems. Dell XPS notebooks use Intel Pentium M processors.
This copyrighted telecast of WNBA Enterprises may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the express written consent of WNBA Enterprises.
Guts and grit. The NBA's best put on an amazing display in Game 1 of the Finals. The Pistons and Spurs slugged it out. Every shot contested. Every player pushed to the limit. Fourth quarter heroics from Duncan and Ginobili gave San Antonio the victory. The defending champs are determined to even things up. The NBA Finals, where legends are born. Pistons Spurs Game 2 tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
1 out of 3 adults suffer from arthritis, and 70% are under age 65.
Yet few know the relief they get from the natural warm water therapy of a hot tub.
That's why ThermoSpas invented a revolutionary hot tub called the Healing Spa. It's the only hot tub designed with features for those with arthritis. And it's the only one that's ever earned the Arthritis Foundation's prestigious Ease of Use commendation.
Finally, a hot tub that gives warm water therapy to the millions who need it most.
Call ThermoSpas today and you'll get more information on the Healing Spa, our half-hour video, and our complete catalog on ThermoSpas hot tubs. All free with no obligation. Call now and get a $1,000 gift certificate too. ThermoSpas, we turn water into therapy. Selected by Consumer Digest as a best buy. 1-800-235-8444.
Welcome back to the Herbal Essences WNBA halftime report at Madison Square Garden. The Detroit Shock already with 5 wins on the season, looking to make it 6 with a 1-point lead at the half over the New York Liberty. Well, I don't have it anymore. Those words straight from Iron Mike Tyson himself after he lost for the 3rd time in his last 4 heavyweight fights in a stunner last night at the MCI Center via a 6th-round TKO to Kevin McBride.
I lost. It's lost. I just don't have it in me anymore. He won fair and square. I'm just finished with this. I'm not good anymore. I can't take anything away from Kevin McBride, but as we all know, he's a C fighter. If I can't beat Kevin McBride, I can't compete in this sport anymore.
From one bad boy on the canvas to a pair on the basketball court. After falling short in their plan to repeat as WNBA champions last season, Coach Bill Laimbeer has gone back to the drawing board, and with a little help from a very familiar friend, all is right again for the 5-1 Shock in the Motor City. Bill Laimbeer, the legendary Pistons center from the 1980s, took over the last place Detroit Shock 2 years ago, and the results were simply miraculous.
Bill Laimbeer, the orchestrator of the biggest turnaround in professional sports history. From worst to first to the championship.
No stranger to championship celebrations from his playing days, this 1989 and 90 NBA title holder has added a former Pistons teammate as his assistant coach this season, noted rebounder Rick Mahorn.
His main function is someone that can tell me no. It's very hard to tell me no and for me to listen to him. But after that, he's in charge of our defense. He's the one that has that assignment. He's the one that's going to make sure that we come to play every night defensively and rebound. That's where the game is won, in our opinion.
It takes effort defensively, y'all. Let's go.
Natalie Williams on a drive, blocked by Riley out of bounds.
So much respect for both of them, and just to have that opportunity to not only have one head coach in my position, but to have Rick joining him as well. And that's just a lot of knowledge coming our way, and I think we're very fortunate to have that.
Take that hit. Take the hit. Take the hit. You get the ball right.
While their basketball knowledge is invaluable, Laimbeer and Mahorn have also brought a fun spirit to the Shock.
We'll always zing each other on different things here or there, but the two main issues are his weight and my clothes selection.
I can lose the weight, but he's showing up can't lose all the clothes.
Coach does have some wardrobe interesting selections, let's just put it that way.
For Bill's birthday, we just really went all out. We brought him polo shirts and jeans, and it all was because of this one shirt for the last 2 years we called the boat shirt that we refused to let him wear again this year. And it was like, you're not wearing that boat shirt again. And Rick's like, yeah, they're trying to tell you something, hint, hint. And we're like, all right, wait till your birthday come around. We're going to buy you an exercise bike or something.
Kidding aside, Laimbeer and Mahorn are serious about taking back the WNBA title.
Okay, dominate on three. 1, 2, 3.
Dominate!
We believe we're the best team. I think we're the biggest, fastest, strongest, most driven team out there. We very well missed that trophy. Seattle has it. They're just borrowing from us this year.
Bill Laimbeer not pulling any punches there. He wants that trophy back. He is all but gone in Detroit. Is Rick Mahorn a good replacement?
Okay, first, don't pick on my suit, okay? The second thing, I think that they really do have a lot of camaraderie in Detroit because Rick Mahorn was his equal, was his peer when they played for the Bad Boys. There's a camaraderie of friendship there. And I really think that if Bill Laimbeer does go to the NBA, and I really do think that'll happen, it'll be a perfect fit to slide Mahorn into that first seat. He's a guy that really requires a lot of attention from the players. He's big, he's strong, he has knowledge, he has toughness, and I really think he's helped them. Detroit this year defensively is giving up 4 less points a game on the defensive end, and I think when they won the championship, rebounding and defense was really their mantra, and he's brought that back to them.
So you see Laimbeer leaving as a positive then if Mahorn is really ready to step up?
Well, if Bill decides that he is going to go to the NBA and he does have that opportunity, he really has left Detroit in good stead with Rick Mahorn. Here's a guy that really has the same philosophy as Bill. They love life, they really enjoy teaching, and the 1 hour and 15-minute practices for the Shock are legendary with the players. They really treat them as pros, not high school, I should say college kids, and the players really appreciate that.
One of the quickest practices you say that goes on in the WNBA.
They get their work on, and then they're out of the gym, and players appreciate it.
All right. Catching you up on what is going to come your way tonight on ABC. It is Game 2 in San Antonio between the defending champion Pistons and the Spurs. Can San Antonio take that 2-0 lead back to the Motor City? Find out for yourself on ABC tonight. Cheryl Ford, 9 points, 5 rebounds. Nancy takes you inside the box score when we come back on the Herbal Essences Halftime Report.
The most infamous assassination of all time is just the beginning.
Caesar is dead.
And the future of an empire.
Caesar named you his heir.
Lies in the hands of a gladiator.
I vowed to protect you.
ABC presents the biggest television event of the summer.
Claim your destiny.
WBC now! You leave Rome a hunted boy, and you'll return an emperor. From the Oscar-winning producers of Chicago, Empire premieres Tuesday, June 28th, only on ABC.
Welcome back to the Herbal Essences Halftime Report. It's time to take a look at our Crest colorful moment. Actually, 3 from the first half. Barbara Ferris doing a lot of work up and under, but it was pretty much all the Liberty in this first half, Nancy.
Well, Liberty did a good job of creating a lot of their offense from turnovers. 7 in the game thus far for Detroit. Vicki Johnson finishing on that side.
And a reminder, Seattle and Charlotte, you can catch that game today at 4 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV. Of course, no Sue Bird. She's out with that broken schnoz. Detroit and Indiana on Wednesday on NBA TV. And then Phoenix and these New York Liberty back on ABC this coming Saturday, tip at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. A reminder, we are just about set to get the second half underway. Vicki Johnson and company ready to go at the Garden.
If you think only expensive laser teeth whitening will give you long-lasting results, it's time to see the light. New Crest White Strips Premium Plus gives you a long-lasting, beautifully whiter smile for 18 months. So now you can beam bright and long without expensive laser treatment. New Crest White Strips Premium Plus. Irresistibly white, irresistibly beautiful.
Folks, the 2005 WNBA All-Star Game is coming to the Mohegan Sun Arena on July 9th, and it's your turn to vote for your favorite players. Log on to WNBA.com, cast your ballot, and you could even win a chance to attend this year's All-Star Game, the WNBA All-Star Game. What a fact! Your vote brings together the greatest players on the same court at the same time. Catch the WNBA All-Star Game, Saturday, July 9th, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC.
From the writers of Rounders, Tilt on DVD. We're with Don Everest, known in the poker world as the Matador, for his ability to lure the young bulls into the ring and cut them down.
If we're gonna hurt him in a cash game, you gotta get out of the kiddie pool and start making moves.
Whatever hand is dealt.
I've got it in with the Matador.
We're supposed to be in this together.
This game doesn't stop at the table. Still, the complete first season. The perfect Father's Day gift.
Gee, sir, thanks for the graduation party. Sure. Make yourself at home.
Hey, we have the local game in right here.
Yeah. Thank you. Man, your internet is way fast. Hey, get away from that. Dude, you got video on demand. Hey. Mind your own business.
Hey, what's going on here?
Do you have digital cable?
Get our best offer on Charter Digital. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked.
Hey, what's this?
2005 is the 30th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. Now is the time that as a nation we give Vietnam veterans the homecoming they never received. Now is the time we should say, welcome home. All Vietnam veterans are encouraged to register today for Welcome Home, America's tribute to Vietnam veterans, to be held in Branson, Missouri, June 13 through 19. Learn more online at OperationHomecomingUSA.com. Welcome home.
Detroit leading New York 30-29 as we get ready to start the second half of play in New York City. Detroit trying to beat New York for the third time this season. Pam Moore joined here by Doris Burke. And Doris, New York's only down by 1, which is really kind of remarkable considering I can't talk and they can't shoot.
Well, we better find one or the other in the second half. If you're New York, Becky Hammond and Elena Baranova continue to struggle. But the one player who has not struggled and the one player who's kept them in ball games all season long, Vicki Johnson, step back move. Now that she's 100% healthy and a little bit rested, it's a different Vicki Johnson. And then on the opposite end, Cheryl Ford, all power. I mean, this is something that you should see on a nightly basis, every trip down, working through the post. And Nolan gets 8 points and 5 rebounds, and I'm asking for more. The physical gifts of Deanna Nolan, incredible. I don't think you can guard her with one. She's that good.
Let's take a look at those stats. We said the Liberty struggling with shooting 35% from the floor. The rest of the starters, if you take out Vicki Johnson, just 6 of 21, as the turnovers have hurt the shot, something that has been hurting them really all season long. And New York missed its last 8 threes. They hit 2 of their first 4, but missed their last 8. And among the people here, how about Matthew Modine, the actor who is sitting just a few folks down from us?
That wrestling movie, I loved it. Madonna was in it, but I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Didn't see
You
it.
didn't see
Sorry.
that? Oh, it's
Wasn't
a
at
great
the premiere
movie.
like you.
I'll tell you this.
All right, let's go over to Rebecca Lobo now as we start the second half with an update on the New York huddle. Rebecca.
Hey guys, Marianne Stanley told me that they took good care of the ball in the first half, only 4 turnovers. They limited Detroit's second shots. Need to continue to do both of those things here in the second half, and also need to get good shots. They get those by setting good screens. That's what she's looking for.
All right, Rebecca, and right away, Cheryl Ford takes it to the hoop.
Gets herself into double digits. Every time she takes a shot, I feel like it's a power move. That one on the dribble, on the move from 15, you would not want to step in the middle of that.
She has 11 points, says Cheryl Ford, and Detroit playing all season long without Swincash, who is on the bench, and street clothes. And Waters with a nice and one opportunity.
Well, I'll tell you what, how much easier would Ann Waters' job be if they had to recover the shooters as hard? You know, if Baranova and Hammond can keep them legit, because 6'4" and very skilled, long, lean, and a versatile, can go left, can go right, can finish either hand. I mean, this is the kind of post player you've been lacking. Tari Phillips was healthy several seasons ago.
One of the things they wanted to really do with her was to pound the ball inside to Ann Waters. She was 2 of 5 in the first half, did have 5 rebounds, and that's a good start for her second half.
It'll be interesting to see if they go through Cheryl Ford. I think they should. New York's not been able to deal with her.
Oh, right to Baranova, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, this is just good coaching. Somebody is starting to feel good about themselves, so you might as well work it through her.
Bill Lambier working with her and has the luxury now of having Rick Mahorn work with his post players. And he's still working the officials. And he got the call that time. WNBA All-Star Balloting is here. You can log on to WNBA.com to vote for this year's All-Stars and enter a chance to win a trip to Mohegan Sun to experience the excitement of the 2005 WNBA All-Star Game in person.
That's a dogfight. Who's going to start at the forward spots in the West? Yolanda Griffith, Lauren Jackson, Cheryl Swoops.
Woo! All of them having fantastic seasons as Ford knocks down both of her shots. She's got all 4 points for Detroit here in the second half. All-Star Game at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. See that complex. There's a mall. There's all sorts of things to do. There's also a nice basketball arena. Ruth Riley has had we can say this, a bad game. She now has 3 personal fouls, no points, and no rebounds.
That's brutal.
And this is obviously a good player. Ruth averaging 8.5 points, 5.5 boards a game.
MVP of the finals when they won the championship.
But struggling so far today. She did the first move, admit she's struggling. Becky Hammond still trying to get on the score sheet again as Baranova's shot just dribbled out.
I'll tell you, when it isn't coming, it isn't coming at all. I mean, you can't get closer than that. Good shot for Baranova.
Oh, 4 down the lane. Robinson knocks it away, and the ball will come over to the Liberty.
Ann Waters at 6'4" is long. She has got her work cut out for her. You want to talk about physical in this league? You got to step back when Cheryl Ford is around.
Caught her in the nose, not nearly as bad as Lauren Jackson caught Sue Bird in the nose on Tuesday. And we've obviously sent Sue our best.
Yes.
Boy, broke a couple of bones in her face, the orbital bone as well as a bone in her nose. And she is still not back playing for Seattle. And there's Baranova on the baseline.
Yeah, Pat Coyle jumped up off the bench and got right in her ear. I mean, if you're a coach, you finally see that jumper fall. I don't know who's more excited, Coyle or Baranova.
Riley playing hard, gets her first rebound, 2 rebounds, but still can't score.
I gotta believe Bill Lambier had a thing or 2 to say to Ruth Riley in that intermission.
A pass off the mark as Waters can't connect with Baranova. Nolan leading the break, and then lost it, but Elaine Powell picks it up.
Yeah, a little bit of sweat on her hands as she comes back. Nolan wiping it off, and Powell, this is a player who really is probably the least heralded of the Detroit Shock, but somehow finds a way to get the job done.
Yeah, really the sort of the transparent fit starter, at least when Swin Cash is in there. Not the 7th season out of LSU for Powell.
Little stagger screen for Vicki Johnson.
Hammond left all alone. And that's when you know her shot is off, because usually she can nail those in her sleep.
It's interesting. I asked her before the game why she thinks she's struggling. She said, I'm not sure. It's starting to become mental for me. I know I'm a good shooter. I'm questioning where my shots are supposed to come from.
34% from the floor. Robinson a little bit off balance. Rebound kicked out to Vicki Johnson. And she nails it.
Who saves it again? I tell you what, she's flat out stroking the basketball. Two-time All-Star Vicki Johnson. Looking spry in her 9th year.
33 years of age as that one rims out, and Hammond gets another rebound. Hammond struggling offensively, but she's got a lot of steals today and has gotten some sneaky rebounds as well.
You wonder which team is poised for a little bit of a run offensively. Can they get separation and put pressure on the other team?
Waters misses another jumper.
Ruth Riley now has 4 fouls. And we see Vicki Johnson tearing it up offensively. Looking like the Vicki Johnson who played for a national title at Louisiana Tech. How about this crossover blow by? That is pretty, folks. Sell it on the crossover, BJ.
18 points for Vicki Johnson as she heads to the line to try to complete the three-point play, and Ruth Riley sits down with 4 fouls.
I'll tell you, a few things more effective than a crossover dribble. Low to the ground defense, bites, and you go by.
Vicki now with 19 points. That is, as she closes in.
This is not a bad strategy by Ann Waters. What she tried to do is push forward off the block, so she gives her a little forearm shiver in the back. Just unfortunately, the official saw that.
Waters whistled for her 3rd personal foul. Kara Braxton back in. Rookie out of Georgia, number 45, who came on like gangbusters in her very first collegiate game, had 18 against Connecticut. Only 15 minutes. Unbelievable.
It's impressive numbers in a short period.
Over to Powell. And here come the Liberty. Get it in the hands of Vicki Johnson. She works all day. The crowd is stunned as she has missed a shot. And then she comes back with a steal.
I don't think we've seen this kind of spring in Vicki Johnson's legs in several seasons. She just looks refreshed and energized.
Again, she did not play the complete season over in Europe, came back in January.
It's something that's going to have to be addressed as this league continues. These overseas leagues that forces teams to miss key personnel for good stretches, that's tough to deal with.
Waters and Baranova are 2 of the players who were away until training camp started. Bad shot as the shot clock expired. Waters had no choice, and it comes over to Detroit. So Vicki Johnson has scored in 19 points, New York with a 4-point lead over Bill Lambier's team.
Cocoa. Rainbow wings. Check this out.
The new Swiffer Sweepin' Vac picks up dust and hair with the cloth. Big stuff with the vac. Better than a broom and dustpan.
Is that amazing? For what?
Let me try that.
No.
The new Swiffer Sweepin' Vac. Stop cleaning. Get Swiffer.
My Swiffer.
Honey.
Streaming video highlights, news, scores, schedules, and more. NBA action delivered directly to you on select Nokia video phones. Nokia, connecting people.
Hi, guys.
This man thinks the orange juice he's drinking will help lower his cholesterol. This man knows Minute Maid Heartwise is clinically proven to do just that. Because only Minute Maid Heartwise contains added cholesterol reducers. Minute Maid Heartwise, for your one and only heart.
Southwest Airlines fun fares are available every day to your favorite destination starting at just $49.
You are now free to move about the country.
Exercise, eating right, and drinking Minute Maid Heartwise orange juice with added cholesterol reducers. proven to help reduce cholesterol. Only Minute Maid Heartwise. Your heart will thank you.
Bonjour, trophy lovers. Tonight we're talking the language of love. Let's go to line 5.
Where I'm from, love is about passion, and passion is about love.
Deep. But hold that thought.
In Argentina, love has no beginning and no end. It's like stars in the night sky. Well, in France, it's like 1,000 burning arrows in the heart. Well, no, it's like stars in the night sky. Manu? Tony?
Gentlemen, we all speak the same language when it comes to trophy love. So until next time, adios.
Welcome back. New York up by 4 over Detroit. Let's go over to Rebecca Lobo.
Thanks, Tim. Here with Swin Cash. First of all, Swin, how is the knee doing and when do you expect to be back?
Hopefully very, very soon, sooner than later. But, you know, God's speed is different than our speed. So just really rehabbing right now, and hopefully I'll be back on the court really fast.
This season, you guys look like you're playing of the championship seasons of 2 years ago. What is the difference in attitude between this year and last year?
I think anytime you go through a season where it's a lot of adversity and you feel like you let yourself down, you always want to bounce back. And everyone's mindset was great coming into this year. We're just really focused and ready to get our championship back.
There's been a lot of talk of Coach Lambier possibly taking an NBA job and leaving the team. Has that affected the team at all?
Not at all. He's been very upfront. We know stuff sometimes before the media even finds out, and that's what we really respect about him is that, you know, when the decision is made for him to leave, we'll be the first ones to know.
All right, thanks a lot, Swin. Good luck coming back.
Thank you.
All right, Rebecca and Swin Cash dressing well as always, especially when she's on national TV.
She is a well-put-together young woman.
Absolutely, and a great basketball player. And my goodness, today miss her as Crystal Robinson was whistled for the foul, and Cheryl Ford heads to the free throw line. Cash, of course, one of the leaders of this team, taken to the championship a couple of years ago, and one of 5 players to have an NCAA title, WNBA title, and won the Olympic gold last year in Athens.
And like Sue Bird, she is still very young, so plenty of years to add to that hardware. And it's interesting. She did not answer Rebecca's question. Rebecca was perfect. When are you coming back? Soon, but I don't know when. And then how about, you like the honesty? You talked about Bill Lambier. He has kept his players informed every step of the way about his involvement with the NBA. Christian from the outside for 2. Now, New York would like to get some separation, put a little pressure on Detroit. And you wonder, now Detroit, that last set started to get active on the glass. Surprisingly, New York winning the second chance points opportunity.
Absolutely, as Braxton was able to hit that turnaround over Christian. In fact, at one point, they had 13 second chance points to only 2. That was as of about a minute ago. New York now up by 3. And a little bit too physical. Braxton and Christian get tied up. And they get Braxton. That is her second, 14 fouls now. Kara Braxton, the mother of a son, born on January, and you have a couple of kids. Did you look this good?
No. 5 months after you.
That took me several years to rebound.
Oh boy, inside Christian, as we head over now to Rebecca Lobo, who has a baby herself.
Kara Braxton getting back in shape. Well, she was playing pickup basketball until she was 6 months pregnant. The doctor wanted her to stop, didn't want anything to happen to the baby. So when she stopped, she started lifting weights and continued running stairs. She said after she had the baby, 2 days later, she was playing 2-on-2 basketball. I can't even imagine.
Wow, 2 days later. It's amazing, though, that first 6 months, probably the base you get from continued working out. Amazing. And I'll tell you what, high praise. Rebecca Lobo told us they opened the show. Bill Lambier believes she has the physical gifts to be as dominant a force as Lisa Leslie. That's high praise indeed. Wow.
Lisa Leslie might be the best player in the world, so that's very high praise. Veronica for 2 straight.
Oh, starting to percolate. The Russians are starting to feel good.
Largest lead now extends to 8 points, and Coach Lambier wants to have a little huddle with his ball club. Veronica, struggling mightily for most of this game, has knocked down a couple in a row.
This is
is a thank you for all the dads who spent hours rebounding in the driveway and carpooled to every away game. This is for those who didn't get mad the first time their little girl beat them by 2, and who were there for the championship. This is a thank you to all the fathers who took their daughters to their first game and enjoyed it every bit as much as their kids. You and me, Dad. This is our game. WNBA Dads and Daughters Week is June 10th through the 19th. Go to WNBA.com for details.
Wow, you like hit it.
I know. Weird.
Are you okay?
Well, I've got a fruit buzz.
What's a fruit buzz?
It's, you eat the new fruit and walnut salad from McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's fresh apples and grapes, low-fat yogurt, sweet candied walnuts. So awesome. It just makes me feel like...
Trying?
I know.
Weird.
For breakfast, lunch, or just a snack, McDonald's new fruit and walnut salad. Get a fruit buzz.
Guts and grit. The NBA's best put on an amazing display in Game 1 of the Finals. The Pistons and Spurs slugged it out. Every shot contested. Every player pushed to the limit. Fourth quarter heroics from Duncan and Ginobili gave San Antonio the victory. The defending champs are determined to even things up. The NBA Finals, where legends are born. Pistons Spurs Game 2 tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
It's all about performance. That's what I get with Charter high-speed internet. And that's what drives the Army National Guard.
The Guard is the team America counts on to defend our country and our communities. Like to learn more about how you can help support the Guard?
Stick with me. I know a shortcut.
Just visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com and get there faster with Charter high-speed internet. Call 1-888-GET-CHARTER and get hooked.
Jeffrey is 11. He's never climbed a tree, never chased a frog, never made a friend outside his neighborhood. Until now. Every year at more than 50 Salvation Army summer camps around the country, children's dreams come true through a week of fun, growth, and learning in beautiful and spiritual settings. The Salvation Army Summer Camp Program, doing the most good for kids.
Detroit has been outscored 12-3, and with this run, Bill Lambier, we have him wired up, had this to say during the last time out.
Okay? We're losing our assignments. We're leaving wide open shooters because we're not thinking. All right? Now we got to line up to match. I don't want to do this, but I got to. We got to run. Bink, you got to go running. All right? You tired? You tired? You tired?
Wants to push the pace. Obviously wants to cut it to this lead a little bit and get on a little roll of his own. New York is very much in control of his basketball game at this moment.
And making sure that the players that he has out there are not tired and fresh and ready to go. So they want to push the pace. Tweety Nolan misses. Candy Jones, who is checked in, is fouled on the rebound. Vicki Johnson whistled for only her first personal foul. Candy Jones, again, the first-round pick last year, coming out of Houston. Actually, Phoenix took her and then was traded over on draft day to Detroit. Averaging about 6 points a game off the bench for Lambier, who was very excited to take her last season.
And that's why, because she brings a scoring punch and mentality. And is still learning how to play at this level.
The all-time leading scorer, not only at Houston, but in Conference USA basketball. Averaged 23 points a game as a senior. The lead is 6. And New York blew a big lead earlier this year in a game against Detroit, a game they ended up losing, and they're going to get forward for grabbing onto Baranova. 3 fouls against Cheryl Ford. Coming up later today at 4 Eastern time, Seattle takes on Charlotte. That is on NBA TV. And then Wednesday, Detroit is at Indiana on NBA TV at 8 Eastern. And then on Saturday, right back here in New York on ABC at 4 Eastern, Phoenix taking on the New York Liberty.
Broadway, it seems an appropriate place for that.
I think the bright lights would suit her fine.
And they've got to get Babitskova and Taylor and all those players around her playing well.
Oh, finally, Becky Hammond is able to nail a shot from downtown.
She brings a big old sigh of relief after that made shot.
Hammond just 2 of 7 from the floor. She's got the basketball again. New York up by 9.
Detroit looks a little more assertive defensively.
Robinson taking it right to Jones. Rebound batted to Ford. Here comes Detroit, wanting to push the pace, down 9. Elaine Powell right in for 2.
Well, we had to go over and be a wide receiver. He said, I want to push. You've got to get out and run.
Lead is down to 7. And conversely, Becky Hammond running the point for Liberty slows it down. Robinson pull up over Jones. Rebound to Kara Braxton.
That was run very well. The pick slows the defender enough. Look at Powell being assertive.
Ford with the follow. Once again, he is tied up by Crystal Robinson.
Sense Ford's frustration with her inability to make those second chance opportunities. She's had a couple of those here in the second half.
Crystal Robinson getting in, grabbing the basketball. Baranova goes out. Ann Waters comes back in for New York. And unlike college basketball, they jump off tied balls in this league.
Yeah, I like jump balls. I thought you'd see college go back to it.
As you might expect in that matchup, Detroit gets the basketball, but I agree with you. I hate the alternate possessions because you're penalizing basically good defense.
That's exactly right. You get a tie-up, you should have a shot at the basketball.
Braxton misses everything, and here comes Hammond. Trina White has checked in for the Liberty. Hammond again! 2 straight threes for Becky Hammond. And the Liberty with a 10-point lead, the crowd getting behind them. Hammond maybe trying to be a little bit too assertive that time, and the ball goes over to Detroit.
Yeah, this is a play New York likes to run for Becky Hammond. She's going to set a screen here, and then will be screened for, and they'll have a wide open jump shot. It's a screen for the screener. Now Waters goes and head hunts Becky Hammond's man. Wide open, uncontested shot. She made her last one. So if you're Patty Coyle, you're a little more comfortable running that play on that trip down.
Becky Hammond has scored the last 6 points for the Liberty on those 2 3-pointers. Niele Ivey running the point now for Detroit. Gives it back to Deanna Nolan. Drives, and we'll head to the free throw line.
You can't stop this young woman. You cannot check her. The only person who can limit Deanna Nolan is Deanna Nolan.
4 personals now in Crystal Robinson, who has tried to stop Deanna Nolan. And someone with that much talent, Patty Coyle, met with her earlier today, said the exact same thing. You can't stop her. You cannot guard her.
And you'd be hard-pressed to find as committed defenders as you have in Crystal Robinson and Vicki Johnson. Those 2 players flat out guard. This is just Nolan's ability coming to the fore.
Robinson sitting down with the 4 personals. Deanna Nolan really coming into her own this year again. Triple-double in Detroit's first game of the season against Connecticut. 11 points, 10 boards, 11 assists. Those 11 assists, a Detroit team record. Only the 4th player in this league to ever get a triple-double.
A good save by Vicki Johnson. I'd say this whole league is starting to come. Better shooters, more scoring.
Which is exactly what the league has needed. We are in New York City. Detroit taking on the Liberty, trying to beat them for the 3rd straight time already this season. But New York under Pat Coyle catching on fire. Pam Ward joined by Rebecca Lobo and Doris Burke. Bill Lambier just sitting and stewing a little bit. New York has hit 3 straight 3-pointers after missing 9 in a row at one point and getting that field goal percentage up to 41%. Becky Hammond, can she make it 3 in a row? Oh, yeah.
It's amazing how it starts to feel good. And it's coming off those fingertips nicely.
And in warm-up, she was nailing everything, but obviously it's a little bit different once the game starts, but give Becky 3 in a row.
Yeah, give some credit to the sideline, because now after they see she makes one, they want to get her confidence going. So they run 2 straight sets, simple down screens.
Trina White called for her first personal foul as Detroit hangs on to Becky Hammond, 9 straight points. And a foul on the rebound as Braxton hits the deck.
Tell you what, somebody is working to knock Braxton to the deck. She is a big, strong, physical player.
That's the second on Katrina White in the last few moments. And Kara Braxton will head to the free throw line.
To say one thing about Detroit this season, they have been mentally tough. They have found themselves down in lots of games and been able to come back.
They haven't been able to win them all, but at least they've come back. And one chink in Kara Braxton's armor is her free throw shooting. Only a 47% free throw shooter coming in, and is now 8 for 18 on the season.
Wow, how about that production of 5 points in 5 minutes? And she's been in and out of this basketball game.
It's 1 of 2. The lead is still 10, however, for New York.
Stacey Thomas in the basketball game for her defense. If she gets the assignment on Hammond, can she cool her off?
Tamika Christian from outside misses badly, but gets her own rebound. And a fresh 30 for the Liberty. Good play by Braxton, but she steps on the sideline and the ball goes back to New York.
Okay, that's your post player. 6'6", stepping out, getting in the passing lane.
And the crowd is hooting and hollering at Bill Lambier, who came to midcourt to speak to Lisa Mattingly.
He's heard that a time or two in this building. Let's go.
Some of the fans coming here probably specifically just to give Bill a little bit of a hard time. Oh, Hammond gets just pounded in the middle. Chandy Jones comes away with the loose ball, misses, but Braxton picks her up.
Wow, how about that block by Shamika Christian? Nice length, but that's why you tell your coach, you always run the floor.
Then Braxton at about 6'5" or 6'6", able to convert. She now has 7.
Stacey Thomas makes Becky Hammond work that entire way up the floor. You want to make the ball handler change directions.
Why Stacey Thomas is on this team.
Christian! What a crazy shot from Jose. That is a big-time move. Great body control.
4 points for her, and on the other end, Thomas gets fouled going up.
Now, her first step, they call her Baby Swoops. That's what her team nicknamed her because of this great first step. That is a Swoops-esque type move on that one. Wow. You know, the other thing she has that reminds you a little bit of Cheryl Swoops is that range on the three ball. You haven't seen as much from Cheryl in the last couple of years.
3 fouls on Katrina White as Thomas heads to the free throw line. And how about some credit to Cheryl Swoops, who I think a lot of us, as Tamara Moore comes in for New York, she is getting older, and her game seems to have slipped the last couple of years, but she's been terrific this season.
She's been sensational. Got Houston off to a great start in the absence of Tina Thompson.
Sandy Jones for 3.
You can't sleep on this team. They're just too good on the offensive glass. Back within 6.
And New York had a 13-point halftime lead on June 2nd and ended up losing to Detroit in overtime. They blew that big lead, and they're hoping that obviously that doesn't happen. That was the first 3 today. Vicki Johnson gets inside, shoots it over Ferris, rebounded Waters in the follow and the foul. So Detroit makes a little bit of a run, but Ann Waters able to get inside. She'll be at the free throw line when we return.
The third quarter is now over. The fourth quarter is coming up next.
From the Oscar-winning producers of Chicago comes the biggest television event of the summer. Empire premieres Tuesday, June 28th, only on ABC.
I can't believe Kyle turned on these tickets. I know, right? Let's hit him up.
Hey, that's your apartment. That's your Bud Light. That's your girlfriend.
Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here.
Sharon? Yeah, she's Sharon, all right.
Afraid to wash your dark? Now you don't have to be. Introducing Cheer Dark, a new cheer for all
It happens this time every year when the thoughts of the young turn to love.
She lays it up and in.
It's the kind of love that gets your heart pounding, your palms sweaty, and it's filled with moments you'll never forget.
Three ball, yes!
Many will fall in love for the first time, while others will fall in love all over again.
Oh, my!
This is our time of year, the WNBA. This is our game.
I'm not a gangster. You know, I'm not a thug. You know, I'm not into trying to be hard. If you ask me about that on the basketball court, then I say, yeah, I'm hard, I'm tough on the basketball court. But off the court, that ain't who I want my kids to feel like their daddy is. That's just my environment. That's where I came from. I can't be somebody else. All I can be is the best Allen Iverson that I can be.
Liberty trying to beat Detroit for the first time in 3 tries this season, up by 8. Time now to take a look at the Bud Light Peak Performers, the best WNBA scoring and rebounding performances over the last 3 games. Katie Smith doing it for Minnesota, along with Shamika Holtzclaw and Penny Taylor. At the end of the season, the WNBA players who lead the league in scoring and rebounds will share $25,000, compliments of Bud Light. Let's go over now to Rebecca Lobo.
Guys, listening to Billy Ambier in that last huddle, he said, we have to hedge out defensively on Vicki Johnson. We need to rebound. He said that's why they're winning, because they're getting to the offensive boards. He said offensively, find the side that Detrina White is on and take it at Detrina White.
Undersized post, Rebecca Lobo. You were not that, so you didn't have to worry about that. But Detrina White coming at you 5'11", they're going to try to post her hard. And look at this, they come right to that side of the floor, Big.
And Waters now with a double-double, and she's called for that foul going over the back. It will be 4 on Waters, but after a shaky first half, she has really picked up her game here in the second half. But Barbara Ferris heads to the free throw line for Detroit. Ferris in her 6th season out of Tulane.
The last time these two teams faced each other, New York had a 7-point lead inside of 2 minutes and couldn't close them out. This has that same sort of feel. Can they get the job done down the stretch?
Ferris knocks them both down, and the lead is cut back to 7. And Waters double-double, by the way, the second for a Liberty player this season. Vicki Johnson had one earlier this year.
That's really good production from your post player. I mean, you can't ask for more than that. Now, I was talking to Rebecca Lobo before the game. The best part about Rebecca Lobo when she played for the New York Liberty, she was one of those pencil in. 10 points, 8 boards. You can't put a figure on that. I mean, that's just so important. In Waters, they may have it back again.
Right now, she gives them about 6 boards a game. But she has 10 today, along with the 10 points. Now, Vicki Johnson just can't get around Stacey Thomas, again, the best defensive guard on this team. And the ball heads back to Detroit. Ruth Riley back in for the shot. She has not scored today. 0 for 5 from the floor. She has 1 rebound and 4 fouls.
Yep, been completely dominated by her counterpart, Ann Waters, who's going up against big bodies and still producing.
Ferris battling underneath with White, and there's that matchup that Lambier liked, and Ferris was able to draw a foul on White.
Yeah, it's really smart. I think you might get some substitutions here for New York. Tomorrow Moore will go out, Hammond in, and Detrina White goes out, so that switches the matchups now.
4 fouls now on Detrina White as she heads over. Becky Hammond really heating up here in the second half. Only hit 1 of 5 field goals in the first half, but has hit 3 threes in a row in the second half. Ferris hits her 3rd straight free throw for Detroit. And Detroit, the worst free throw shooting team in the WNBA at 65%. But Ferris is 4 for 4. And the lead is 5.
Yeah, look at Stacey Thomas. I mean, just denying Becky Hammond, so she's going to try to force Vicki Johnson to get New York in their sets. Stacey Thomas would go unnoticed by most people, but she's flat out trying to shut out Becky Hammond right now.
And it's no coincidence that Hammond has been silent offensively since Thomas came in to guard her.
Look at that. Just get out and make her, force her to make somebody else beat you.
Shot clock at 6. Shot taken in desperation by Christian. Deanna Nolan against Becky Hammond, and Hammond does it again. It's the 5th time today she's been able to smack the ball away, and then Vicky Johnson goes the other way.
Well, Becky Hammond just tied her season high, her career high, with 5 steals. She did it against Detroit the first time, now again.
Shandy Jones now off balance, and Stacey Thomas gets fouled as she heads to the hoop. Now, usually you would give the advantage to Nolan one-on-one against Hammond, right?
I mean, not even close. But watch her, just a little mishandle by Deanna Nolan results in a 2-on-1. Nice job by Christian. See, they're going to give New York a steal. I believe they actually credited to Baranova. It was really just a flat-out turnover. But on a crossover, didn't handle it. But there you go.
5 steals today. Let's give it to Becky Hammond, darn it. Because she has been terrific defensively. Again, doing things when the shot has not been falling, doing the other things. Her assist-to-turnover ratio way down. Last year, she led the league in turnovers. And this year, far more assists than turnovers. And officially now, they've done the right thing and given Becky a 5th steal.
Well, evolving as a basketball player, unselfish, willing to give up her best attribute shooting to play the one guard.
Nolan again, maybe another chance against Hammond, and this time backs away.
So the same things that have pinched Detroit, these turnovers, is exactly what's pinched New York in their close losses. Unforced turnovers.
Shandy Jones for 3. Ferris battling with Christian, and they're going to get Christian with the hold. 3 fouls now against Shamika Christian. And there have been a lot of close games for New York.
Yeah, you see the margin of differential. 2 in the overtime loss at Detroit. That was when they had the 7-point edge late. Washington able to squeak one out by 3. And then the loss at Indiana, Kelly Miller playing the hero.
Ferris finally misses a free throw. Yet Kelly Miller hit a driving jumper with 9/10 of the second left. Did a great job defensively. Sneaky catching only 1 of 12 for Indiana.
Brian Winter saying she's doing all the things around that. I mean, I don't think you're going to limit Tamika Catchings to that kind of shooting performance on a consistent basis. She's struggling right now, but she is a player. You'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who plays harder than Tamika Catchings.
Plays hard all the time, but had a seasonal 6 points, shut down by New York, but Indy won the game anyway. How about that? You're 1 for 12 with Catchings, and you still can't beat it.
Yeah. There was that big hedge by Detroit, and Rebecca's talking about Bill Lambier wanting the coach players to hedge. They hedged, but they didn't recover in time as Christian burns them.
Back up to 7. Trying to go inside, but Jones led Ferris too much. And now Becky Hammond slowing it down for the Liberty, trying to get their 3rd win of the season. Shot clock at 10. Johnson, something about that spot on the floor. She keeps losing the ball. Long 3 for Christian.
And no one gets sent flying by Vicky Johnson. But remember what Rebecca told us Bill Lambier asked his big players to do in the huddle. He wants a big hedge on the screen. So watch Barbara step out and make Vicky Johnson change direction. What happens is Nolan doesn't make the switch. She gives Ferris no time to recover. Christian sticks it. Good offense against that hedge.
Vicky Johnson called for a 2nd foul. And exactly what is a hedge for people who don't know basketball that well?
But, yeah, in a pick and roll situation, ideally you want to make the ball handler switch directions. So you step out and you get them past the dribbler and make them go high. Make them dribble away from where they want to go.
Vicky Johnson called for a 2nd personal foul. So Deanna Nolan, who only has 3 points here in the second half, it's her 1st free throw.
Everything about Deanna Nolan to me seems effortless. The ball comes off her hands easy. She gets off her feet easily. The jumper flies.
Hammond free and clear until
Cheryl Ford came into the picture out of nowhere. Twice on the pipe. Oh, man. And then she gets a rebound and throws it away. So Detroit wasting an opportunity to chip into this 5-point lead. Now 14 turnovers.
Hey, this is Becky Hammond. We keep it out from Chris Robinson, New York Liberty. And you're watching the WNBA? WNBA on ESPN2.
Jen, did you wear my black blouse last night? Well, did you?
Bust it? Keep it secret. Secret Clear Gel goes on invisibly, activates instantly for clear, strong protection.
Does it look like I wore it? No.
Secret Clear Gel, strong enough for a woman. Get secret strength in peach shimmer and berry sparkle clear gels from the Secret Sparkle collection.
Is that a Dell XPS? Yeah. Can I touch it?
The only thing better than the way a Dell XPS looks is the way it performs. The Dell XPS, intense power and performance fueled by the Intel Pentium M processor, is yours for only $23.37. Plus, get up to 20% off other select Dell systems. Dell XPS notebooks use Intel Pentium M processors.
Sport is sport. A foul's a foul. And a bat's a bat, even if it's flat. 10 feet on the west side is 10 feet on the east side. Football is football. Unless it's football. Now, a win's a win. A loss is a loss. But no matter what, you better come with it. Because it's 90 feet to first. No matter where home is.
Look at me. You keep your eyes only on me, understand? You're gonna want to look around. But you're not going to.
War of the Worlds, rated PG-13, June 29th.
The WNBA, its teams, and its players are promoting the benefits of good nutrition, regular exercise, and a positive attitude through a new grassroots program, Be Smart, Be Fit, Be Yourself. With the WNBA's help, young girls and women will learn that through the proper balance of good nutrition, regular exercise, and positive self-esteem, they can achieve anything they set their minds to. WNBA, Be Smart, Be Fit, Be Yourself, the foundation for a lifetime of good health.
New York with a 5-point lead over Detroit. Time now to take a look at Secret's strong play of the game.
6'4" and very lean. Ann Waters going against some big bodies, getting the job done. Tell you what, that's an authority rebound. That's a message rebound and a put back and one.
And doing it around Kara Braxton. A double-double for Ann Waters. 10 points and 10 rebounds. Cheryl Ford has just collected her 4th double-double of the season for Detroit. But that's a good line for Waters. And especially against Detroit, so deep and talented in the post.
Yeah, there's no question. She's had a bang the entire game against multiple bodies.
3.5 minutes left to go in this one. Veronova over Riley misses. Waters with her 11th rebound and 12 points.
Well, nice job getting to the foul line and then just slicing to the lane on the release. Nice read.
And the lead is up to 7. Detroit's last 8 points have come to the free throw line. Got to get something going here from the floor.
And this is where if you're New York, you're trying to close the game because that's going to start eating into their mentality. And Detroit, you just put the pressure on, make shots. Nice toughness there by Cheryl Ford.
15 points for Ford to go along with her 10 rebounds.
That is a nice-looking move in a must-have spot by Cheryl Ford. Big shot.
15 and 10, the 30th double-double of her young career.
Wow. I tell you, and she's really just tapping her potential.
Starting to work more, obviously, with Rick Mahorn. Shot clock down to 7. Veronica, did they get Riley? They did. Riley whistle for another foul, and it's not even close in Detroit.
No, I mean, look at that. Dominating in such a
short period of time, 30 double-doubles. Here's the scary thing. Richie Adubato was with the Liberty for years and now with the Mystics. Said Cheryl reminds him so much of Carl Malone, her dad. Came into the league, Carl didn't have that face up 15 to 17, get him in a pick and roll situation, knock that thing down consistently. He was a force on the board by virtue of his frame. Similar to Cheryl. Can you imagine if Cheryl Ford ever gets a consistent perimeter jump shot? Forget about it.
Already, she is among the best with another double-double, averaging almost a double-double on the season. After today, she might get there. The lead is 7. Ford again. Over Waters. There's a nice little jumper.
I'll tell you what, that's not a bad looking move. We saw a baby hook from her. Now that little soft turnaround jump shot. I'm telling you, the skills are there. I think it's a confidence issue. Get to her, be confident, make some strong post moves, and mix it up a little bit. That's Bill Lambier's point to her. Don't do the same thing night in, night out.
17 points for Ford. That is a new season high for Cheryl. The lead is 5. Can Detroit come back again? Shot clock at 4. Rebound to Baranova. Huge rebound, and Chandy Jones picks it. Jones all the way. The lead is 3.
Yeah, great anticipation. Great anticipation. And see, I think New York has got some mental struggles here, trying to get up and over. They had control of this game for a long time. Now that's gone. So can you close out? Can you be mentally tough, absorb this run, and answer it?
The lead is only 3. Hammond, who's been shut down since Thomas guarded her, is fouled by Stacey Thomas, and she will head to the free throw line, where she is almost automatic.
Well, we've seen Becky Hammond do this more consistently later in her career. Get to the rim, take some contact. I think she's relieved that they finally called her.
She's been hacked a couple of times, at least earlier today, and Becky, who was a 92% free throw shooter, has a couple.
This motion since her high school days. I mean, this is, you step to the free throw line, great free throw shooters do the same thing. It's about repetition.
Here's the Colorado State basketball on the mat back when Tom Collin was the head coach in the late 90s, and they would get great crowds in Fort Collins, and they still love her up there. There's a lot of basketball camps. Nolan?
Yes. How tough is that? I mean, Deanna Nolan has been a nightmare late in games for New York. Little bit of a subtle shake. Crystal Robinson backs off, she drains it.
14 points for Nolan, the lead back to 3. We're inside a minute. Ball knocked around. Waters to Hammond. Inside to Johnson, and Detroit got a second differential between the shot and game clock. A timeout is taken by Bill Lambier.
Look at Swimcast. She has been off the bench cheering this team from the sideline. So emotional.
Cheryl Ford with her 4th double-double this year, 30th of her career, showing some stuff.
I'll tell you what, just a power player, flat out. Beats people because of her strength. Makes the defensive stop, goes and corrals the rebound. How about that baby hook she had the first half? And then contact, able to score with contact. Off the bounce, she showed us an awful lot. Soft turnaround jump shot. How many different ways did we just show you how she scored?
Let's learn a little bit more about Cheryl Ford from her own self.
Cheryl Ford, power forward, Detroit shop. I like to shop. That's it. So I don't know if my, dad liked me spending all that money of his, but I don't see mine for years.
And my sword.
Nice.
Hey, there's some Bud Light.
Hey, how about a Bud Light?
Oh, yeah.
Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real.
Another Bud Light?
Sure. It's all here.
Bubbly guy who loves doing dishes.
sakes, partner in shine. Who could resist?
So, tell me about yourself.
Hey, I've got the juice. That's Joy with natural citrus extracts.
You've got real muscle.
Yeah, I work out. Huh. And my citrus shine will dazzle you in lemon, lime, orange, and grapefruit. So, what do you think?
It's a natural attraction.
Joy with natural citrus extracts. Put a little joy in your life.
I used to start each day feeling inadequate, powerless, but didn't know why. Achieving my goals and aspirations just seemed impossible. And one day, I discovered a 245 horsepower Toyota Tacoma. Now I start my days invigorated. In fact, I'm living the dream.
The 2005 Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Toyota truck, moving forward.
I don't look at myself as a basketball coach. I look at myself as a leader who happens to coach basketball. When they get out into the workplace, they're armed with not just a jump shot or a dribble. I want you armed for life. You know, I want you to develop as a player. I want you to develop as a student. And I want you to develop as a human being. My life isn't about playing games. That's why my card is American Express.
The most infamous assassination
And Rick, the NBA's best, put on an amazing display in Game 1 of the Finals. The Pistons and Spurs slugged it out. Every shot contested, every player pushed to the limit. Fourth quarter heroics from Duncan and Ginobili gave San Antonio the victory. The defending champs are determined to even things up. The NBA Finals, where legends are born. Pistons Spurs Game 2 tonight, 8:30 Eastern on ABC.
My sources tell me that Cheryl Ford has a Louis Vuitton bag collection that would be the envy of anybody. And those things aren't cheap.
Dad made a little bit more money in the NBA than the players are currently making in this league, so he can absorb the financial blow of those Louis Vuittons. Now, she is just a classy young woman, works hard, listens to the coaches, a sweet demeanor off the floor, but you don't want to mess with her on the floor.
And I got to tell you, seeing her at Louisiana Tech, I am surprised that she is as offensively skilled as she is at this level. I had some questions, and some other people did, but she's been amazing.
Outstanding.
Today's Cascade Dish and Assist winner is Crystal Robinson, 4 assists for the New York Liberty.
Now, you think about this now, Cheryl Ford, when Bill Lambier drafted her, Pam, no one would have taken her as high as she went. I believe she went 2nd or 3rd overall. Kara Braxton, same situation. People were a little bit scared off of Kara Braxton. As Rebecca talked about in the opening of this show, she did not play her final season and a half at Georgia, had some conflicts with Andy Landers, but his evaluation of talent and the ability to believe in his, he didn't care where people were going to take Cheryl Ford or Kara Braxton. He knew those two young women could play the game, and he knew he could deal with them.
Ford was taken 3rd overall in 03, and Braxton 7th overall this year.
You got to guard the 3 here. You don't want to give it up.
Nolan blows by Waters, so the lead is 1. So Nolan making that quick decision. If they're going to give me the 2, I'm going to take the 2.
Absolutely. I like the strategy. That's a play they run quite often for Deanna Nolan. They set a two-screen set out front, trying to free her for the 3. But you get a quick deuce if you're Bill Lambier. I like that strategy, because now you put some pressure on New York to drain free throws.
Nolan called for her 2nd foul. Both teams in the bonus.
Watch this. 2 people right here set the screen for Nolan. She gets the basketball. They sell out on the 3, so she's got to attack the rim. That's nice.
Mika Christian, who is a 91% free throw shooter, hits her first.
Same strategy if you're New York. If she can get this to go, you don't want to give up a 3 ball.
She's now 12 for 13 on the season from the free throw line.
It'll be interesting to see if Detroit comes with that set. They obviously want the ball in Nolan's hands. So they'll put the 2 people out top, the 2 bigs, try to get it into Nolan's hands and let her go to work again.
Nolan is the best 3-point shooter in Detroit Shock history, both in makes and attempts, and hitting about 30% heading into this game. But they need a 3 now.
Yeah, you don't want to switch any score. I don't know that you need a 3. I kind of disagree with you there, Pam. 18.7 is an eternity. you can still have the same strategy. If you don't get a wide open three, or at least a pretty good look at it, Pam, why not attack off the bounce?
Yeah, and it worked last time.
And it worked last time, and you just, again, you put it on New York to make free throws, and there's a timeout situation.
New York has taken 23s today, and has hit 6 of them, 3 of them for Becky Hammond. Detroit just 1 of 5. Here we go, 18.7 left. Nolan for 3, way off the mark. Riley saves it to Thomas.
This is where you get in trouble because you're scrambling to find matchups.
Candy Jones, she can nail him from the outside. Loses the basketball. It will stay with Detroit. Bill Lambier calls timeout with 4.3 seconds left. And now you're thinking 3.
Now you got to go 3.
There you go. I got it right finally. And look at Swim. You're right. Swim Cash right in the middle of the huddle. And Lambier's going to try to coach him up.
Yeah, New York's games decided by 8 points, 1 and 2. You think this is a big one for Pat Coyle and her crew? And look at Pat Coyle, I think, might be discussing that uncontested 3 that Deanna Nolan got to look at. But now, obviously, you're the free, your best shooter, and I think one of the better clutch shooters in the WNBA right now, Deanna Nolan.
Nolan so far today with 16 points on 5 of 10 shooting, but is now 0 for 2 from 3-point range.
And New York defensively, you tell everybody you don't want to switch screens unless somebody gets in jail. I mean, if you can't recover around the screen and make a contest, then you're going to have to get some help.
Ball game resting on this possession. Detroit down 3 with the ball. Riley got to hurry. She throws up a 3 off the mark, and New York has finally beaten Detroit this season. Couple of frustrating losses earlier this year. New York falling some leads, but not today. They hold on to win it 72-69. Vicki Johnson leading the way with 21 points. So New York takes it by the final of 72-69. WNBA coverage continues an hour from now on NBA TV. ABC on Saturday has Phoenix in New York. NHRA drag racing coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. See ya.
At Route 66 Raceway in Chicago, Funny Car has been all team four since 3, 2, 1. Madison fourth, and this man right here, Robert Height, sits on the